So you're about to do your first 7 days on Omad. Well, I'm here to help you, tell you exactly how to get through it and give you some pro tips as well. This will also work for other forms of intermittent fasting, but I'm going to pretty much just talk about Omad. Firstly, you need to pick which type of fasting protocol you're going to apply. If you haven't done it before, I'd recommend starting with like a 2MAD, maybe like a 16 and 8, which is 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour eating window. The reason I'd recommend starting there is because if you haven't done long fasts before, it can be a shock to the system. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I personally am doing Omad. I always target a minimum of a 20-hour fast between my meals. So pick when you want to eat your meal, say at 6 p.m. for me. Well, then I will eat my meal at 6 p.m. and when I'm finished eating and satisfied, I will start the clock and I will not eat for 20 hours from that time. So you're basically just setting up your fasting protocol to be consistently eating at the same time every day so that you maximize your fast. Next thing is you're going to be hungry. I'm sorry, there's no way around it. When you're fasting, you're not eating, and if you're not used to fasting, you will experience cravings, you will experience hunger. If you're a sugar junkie, you will have a hard time with fasting. Some pro tips for you. Drink plenty of water. Water can help you stay hydrated, which is very important, and it also can help you feel a little bit satiated when you are hungry. Drink plenty of black coffee. There's no calories in black coffee, and you can even add 0-calorie sweetener. Some people say sweeteners and artificial sweeteners are fast breakers. I do not agree. I don't believe there's any evidence out there to suggest that they will break you fast. Also, add electrolytes to your water, especially in that first week. If you haven't fasted before and you are drinking more fluid when you're fasting, you're going to be peeing more. The more you pee out, the more electrolytes you use, and then those lack of electrolytes will contribute to those things we call like brain fog or keto fog for those people on ketosis. This is a lot to do with electrolyte imbalance, and if you haven't fasted before and you're drinking a lot of water and you're peeing a lot, you might want to replace some electrolytes. So good things are things like sugar-free Powerade, sugar-free Gatorade, or you can just add a little bit of salt to your water. It doesn't taste great, so don't do it all the time, but maybe like 2 or 3 grams of salt a day added to your water, spread out across multiple drinks. You probably won't notice the flavor and it'll help you replace some of those electrolytes. Okay, so you've thought about your fasting protocol, you've thought about your hydration. The next important thing is to think about what you're going to eat. If this is your first 7 days doing any kind of fasting, intermittent fasting, or any kind of Omad, and your goal is to just get used to the process of fasting, I would not be really particular about what you eat in your eating window. Just aim for something that you're going to feel full and satisfied, and that could be anything. If you like to get fast food, don't think you need to restrict it. If you like to eat balanced meals, don't think you need to change and go to like extremely low carb or keto or anything like that. If you're just starting out, I wouldn't mess with the types of food you're eating too much because it does take a while to get used to the fasting process. Some people want to accelerate weight loss and they use fasting as a means of doing that, which I definitely think is great. And they try to accelerate it further by pairing fasting with other types of dieting, whether that be low carb dieting, ketogenic dieting, paleo dieting. I could go on and on and on. I would recommend at least give yourself a couple of days where you're really just getting used to extended fasts so that your eating window is not also restricted to some other type of diet protocol unless you have a predisposition to that type of diet. So if you're already a vegan, I wouldn't say you need to come off being a vegan when you go on Omad. If you're already a vegetarian, same thing. If you've been doing ketosis or keto diets, low carb diets for a long time and that's the way you typically eat, same thing. The main thing you want to do in your eating window is focus on getting full for this first week. Don't focus on the calories necessarily, and like I said, don't be strict about the type of eating protocol you're going to stick to, but get full. The way that I get full is I always add a really big side to my meal, whether that be a side of vegetables, a side of salad, a side of rice, and I typically aim for the cleaner types of food so that I'm not filling up on fatty, greasy food or high sugar food, because those foods will make my cravings worse and they'll make me want to keep eating. If I fill up on whole foods that are low in sugar, low in fat, I generally feel satiated, and you can fit a few pounds of vegetables or salad into your stomach for very little calories, very little sugar and salt, and you'll feel full. That's the main objective. The benefits of getting used to having sides of salads and vegetables as part of your eating window is that they're obviously low calorie sides and options as well. So if you are looking to make intermittent fasting or Omad part of your long-term lifestyle, and you can get into the habit of using our low calorie density foods like vegetables, salads and fruits as your side to a dish to fill you up, you will have great long-term success. Even if you're not doing intermittent fasting, that is generally a good diet tip, is to fill up on low calorie dense foods, starting with vegetables, fruits and salads. I personally have been doing intermittent fasting consistently for about a year now. Here are some of my before and after results. In my video from last year, after 2 weeks on Omad, I managed to lose 6 kilograms, which is 11 pounds in freedom units. America! Yeah! The last thing that you need to consider in your first 7 days is your activity levels or the amount of exercise that you plan to do. If you've never fasted before, like I said, I would not go in hard on additional activity. In fact, even if you're a very active person, because you're fasting, you're going to feel a little bit different in terms of energy levels, and that is obviously because you'll definitely be low on blood sugar during a fast. So just consider that. I wouldn't actually change your exercise routine too dramatically when you begin fasting. Stick to things that are low and steady state activity, such as walking would be fine. This is only for the first 7 days. Like I said, you want to give yourself some time to adapt to the fasting first and not let exercise derail your fasting protocol. So my pro tip on exercise is just try and get 10,000 steps. I mean, this is a great guide anyway, even if you're not fasting, but it's been shown that low steady state cardio such as walking and walking at a vigorous pace is really good for fat burning, and you should just generally be targeting 10,000 steps a day. I guarantee you, if you compare intermittent fasting and 10,000 steps a day for 30 days, like I did in my Omad May video series, and like I'll be doing again next May, you will definitely have results on the scales. I guarantee it, or your money back.